Alright, I'm back. Let's see what the new specimen does. 2 boomerangs! That's too many boomerangs, dude. I don't use the, wait. What does the super do then? Additional boomerang. Okay, it's not 2 boomerangs. That makes sense. I barely use the double boomerang because it's too much for me to keep track of. Cayman, I have a question. What's up? Let's give it a whirl. Whoa! That's tomahawking it. That's pretty fun, actually. Should I build Metro 2 on Infinicraft? Is that a COD map? What? What are we talking about here? Okay, so the quest I know I can complete in, you know, less than an hour here. Infinicraft is my friend Eli's server. I know. I'm asking what Metro 2 is. It's a secret array of Soviet metros under Moscow used for military purposes. Have fun. It's Minecraft. Build what you want. But also, you're asking me if you should build tunnels in Minecraft? To which I say, it's Minecraft, dog. Like, I think inherently, yes. Because it's the mine part of the craft, you know? When one plies his craft, does he not also mine? I do not know. Many people are saying this. With, like, lights and Soviet propaganda. Yeah, and then don't tell anybody about it. And then one day someone's gonna find it and go like, Eli, the hell is this? Why do you know so much about weird military propaganda campaigns and whatnot? You one of them fellas who likes to style themselves a history buff and then only talks about tanks? I know several of those. Mostly because I play Paradox games. Comes with the territory, sadly. I don't cite... Okay. Fair. But I do talk a lot about tanks. More a creative assembly kind of guy. I can't tell which part of the train of thought that's talking about. Ooh, you know, actually, this might be good for killing the moles. Oh, I do play Stellaris. Ah, see, I basically only play Paradox, so that's the only one I recognize by name. Like, I honestly, I really only play... Hey, pause me. That's kind of weird that the hitting the Steam store doesn't pause the game. Yeah, here. If this will load, look at this. Look at this. CaimanSense. Profile. No, it'd be library, wouldn't it? Show me my library, please. Hello? Am I losing my mind? What? Am I blind? Press games. Press games. Press... You have to give me a minute. I'm not very good at anything right now. I'm losing... Anyway, here we go. There's the thing. Yeah, look at this. These are my most played games right here. Fortunately for me, they're also my last played games. 2,400 hours in EU4, 400 hours on Rocket League. I don't think anything else comes close. I think maybe like 200 in RimWorld. Like I play EU4, and that's like the only grand strategy I do, but it's also like one of the only games I do. I kind of like this. It's a very different play style. You know, like the beta was like fairly similar, but this is nice. That's a lot. Hey, tell me about it. I know, and it's a bit much for sure. But only like half of that, which is still kind of too much. Only like half of that comes from playing base EU4. The rest of it, I found a mod called Anbanar. About I don't know, year ago maybe now. And I play that all the time because it's one of those things where it's like, you know, community driven ish. Like obviously it's got a lead team, but they take community writers and you can just hop in if you enjoy what you're doing and know how to program or write. And so it's constantly evolving. And so that has really like rekindled my interest in the game. Like Grimhammer for Total War. I mean, I'm assuming based on that it's the same thing, but I wouldn't know. I've seen, let's see. Which Warhammer is the Total War? Like, is it 40K or is it fantasy? Because I know there are 2 Warhammers. Yo, does that up the range? It does. Does it up damage too, maybe? That's nice. I don't follow really anything Games Workshop does, but I followed the YouTube series, you know, If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device, and that's how I know my 40K lore. And then Games Workshop DMCA'd that, said they were going to sue if they kept it up, and so now I don't pay any attention to anything happening in 40K. Dude, this is a hell of a build. Talked with Zoran the Bear who did Warhams. Oh, cool. That's nice. Yeah, I didn't watch. That's the, like, not D&D because Warhammer is its own tabletop thing. That's the like campaign they did, right? The role-playing game that they did animated. I didn't watch any of it, but I recognized the name because it was on the same channel. Dude, double deflect wave is incredible. You know what? I'll give Decoy a chance. He's done nothing to earn my ill will, and yet I've never used it. It's actually very good because Brova. Oh, really? He wrote the script? That's cool. Yeah, the only tabletop RPG thing I've watched is I watched about half of Season 2 of Critical Role, and then, not that I lost interest, more that I lost the time, you know? Because it's like 4 hours an episode or something. It's a bit much, for sure. So, that one, the story is much more open, I guess. But I have heard of folks playing, like, the whatever the Warhammer RPG is called. Might just be Warhammer, I don't know. I've heard that when people play that, it's much more like, you know, you are, say, a guardsman, and this is what's happening around you. It's, you know, the character is reacting to the story rather than the other way around. Let's go, dude. We are crushing it. The added range on the Gamma build is kind of nuts. Between that and the double, right? Dash 3 times if you're gonna dash at all. Otherwise, you waste time. Granted, I work from home, so that's easier. That's true. Technically speaking, I don't work. You know, I'm in school, which some might consider work tangential. It's definitely like takes up a decent amount of time, but it's nowhere near having an actual job. So I don't really, you know, say unemployed. Plus, this semester I'm in, what, 7 hours total? I have one real class, and the rest is, like, self-driven stuff. I'm an engineer. I'm, well, not bioengineering. That's something else. That sounds like, you know, you're doing DNA work. I'm doing biological and environmental engineering. So working with a lot of, like, water quality type thing. Water quality, plants, food, some energy stuff in there, which is kind of surprising, but that's more like, you know, energy sustainability, solar panel work, etc., etc. Determining, like, if it's economically viable to power stuff through green energy, that type of thing. It's a good time, but not bioengineering in the way people usually think. I really, like, there's been a petition for a little while now for the university to change the name of the program to environmental engineering, because that's what it is. Like, I'm taking... To become a licensed engineer, you have to go through a series of exams. So it's like, you have to get the degree, and then you take the FE exam. You can take the FE before you get the degree. The Fundamentals of Engineering exam. And so that's like, hey, you know, at least like 60% of what might be taught to an engineer in undergrad. Because, you know, obviously each program has different content. If you're in mechanical, you're not going to learn about, like, how grass grows, you know? But they try and gear it to where you don't have to learn everything to pass. It's like, I think if I read correctly, like 70% of people that take the FE exam pass it. Undergrad, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what really the difference is. Like, it's, I go to a university, but, like, my understanding was that universities, at least here in the States, I don't know where you're from, Gold, but here, I'm under the impression that a university is more like a collection of colleges. So, like, we've got, you know, College of Engineering, College of Agricultural Science, no, that's not true, College of Arts, College of, like, Math and Science, that sort of deal. So university, but that might mean different things depending on where you're from. But I digress. I was talking about the exam, yeah. Working on studying for that, and by working on, I mean I purchased the practice exam and then have done nothing with it. Probably should get around to that at some point. But I need to take it before, you know, I start working, essentially. Because the way it goes, you get the degree. If you have the degree and have passed the FE exam, then you are a licensed engineer in training, an EIT. And if you are an EIT, then you can work for an engineering firm. And then once you've worked under a professional engineer for 5 years and have taken the professional engineer exam, then you get your own professional engineering license. And that's the way that goes down. That's the way the cookie crumbles. My job is to provide entertainment for people who got tired after work. That's valid, man. That's what I'm doing right here. In a sense, you know, I'm also playing video games because I want to do it. That is insane. Hello, spike armor? You no longer take damage when touching enemies? Dude. No way. That's a tough route. You think so? Wait. Route. You're talking about World 1, World 2 here, yeah? Not the school stuff? I didn't think it was terrible. School. Okay. Right. Yeah. That makes much more sense. Sorry, got several things happening with weird coincidental timing. Did I pick up the egg? I thought I did. Yes. Yeah, I really like this very lucky double down thing we got. Because it feels like we can essentially just deal an extra 60 damage whenever we want to. Don't take damage. Don't take damage, be damage. Yeah, that's kind of wild. That feels way more powerful than the other builds. The other builds feel like they're much easier to defend with. But this feels like, you know, taking the thing I was saying earlier. A good defense, or the best defense is a good defense. And going, you're dumb. Just kill enemies before they kill you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, compared to the other two, this feels like a whole new character almost. Because it's so much longer. And the, you know, the shot pattern is affected rather than like before where it was just, you know, get more range versus get more area. A lot of boomerangs. That was the plan. That was the plan. Fuck. Right. Damage when they die. Remember that one. Honestly, I think even if they did have... Like, I like the idea for different, different visuals for different effects on the anomalies. Because it kind of can, you know, let you plan out... Oh, if you're talking on the map, that would let you plan out, like, what you want to do, but that might be given a bit too much. But I feel like if it was in the thing, I would see it was an anomaly, go there, and then not look at whatever pops up. Because that's kind of what I do anyway. Unless I'm, like, going actively to myself, hey, remember to fucking get out of the... Sorry. Remember to look at what's going on, by the way. Kind of important. Hopefully that comes as I get better at the game. Thought I deflected all that. Come on. Ooh, nice. 2 of them. Alright, we want to go... We don't want to go there because no battery. We want to go... Yikes. There. and then wherever afterward. We will see. Man, saying the word afterward, this is no relation other than that. Reminds me, there's a game I've been waiting on for a while now called The Book of Hours, made by, I don't remember the name of the company, actually, the studio, but made by the group that did Cultist Simulator and also The Lady Afterward. That's where I, reminded myself of it there. It's supposed to come out this year. I'm really looking forward to it. Cultist Simulator. Not actually a simulation game at all. Those guys? Yeah! I really like their writing style. They practice... What was it? Cow Tools. If you know that comic. It's a Gary Larson Far Side. There was one particular comic that I see posted semi-often, in which there's a cow with a toolbox, and the caption is, and the tools are all very poorly crafted, and the caption is "Cow Tools." And I have like a book by Gary Larson of all the Far Side comics with his thoughts about them every now and then. Oh no! Is it? How many hits is it? 5? That's rough. Maybe it's a chance? No, it's definitely a number of hits. But yeah, so I think about that a lot because in that book, Gary Larson talks about that one particular comic, Cow Tools. He got that, I think he said that was the single most mail he ever got about a comic, just because there were so many questions to it. Because, just people going, what does it mean? What do cows use tools for? What are cow tools? Why are cow tools? Because there are a bunch of questions that could be asked, but very, very few answers. And so, the guy who does the writing, I don't think he, is deliberately following the cow tools thing, but he does, have that same type of thing where it's a lot of questions, a lot of snippets of potential answers. It really drags you in. Yeah, Sunless Sky, or Sunless, I think I played Sunless Sea. I don't think I played Sunless Sky. Sunless Sea was a lot of fun. That game, I say it, I enjoyed playing it. Kind of lost me after I died the first time, though. Because not the first time. Second time I died. First time, I was just trying to figure out what was going on. Sunless Sea, for those of y'all who don't know, is a game in which you are a boat captain. You are a pirate. Yar har fiddle-dee dee. So you're a pirate in essentially it's I think it's doing like Hollow Earth theory, where it's like a ring of worlds within the world, and so you're in the underlayer. It's just a big ass ocean down there. You're in the underlayer, and it's got a real cryptic writing style. That's a weird place to stand. And so, roguelite, I don't know. I was told the difference between the two. A roguelite is a game in which you have permanent progression that helps your runs. And a roguelike is a game in which it's just skill. Unlocks, maybe, but no permanent, boosts. Making this a roguelite. Yeah, so there were ways to get boosts to carry over between runs. So I guess that counts as roguelite? They're almost entirely interchangeable. Let's not get caught up in semantics. Anyway. Roguelite, but all of your runs took... Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, that's not too bad, actually. All of your runs took potentially several hours. So after I died the first time, it kind of lost interest. I kind of lost interest. Great game, but that one threw me, for sure. But I played that for about probably 15 hours straight, and then died and stopped playing. Okay, fuck the leech. Fuck the Ultra Leech. I hate it. Stop it. The lore behind Sunless Sea is insane because it ties into their browser game, Fallen London, which all ties to some weird relationship between cosmic entities. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. There's like, in Cultist Simulator, you play in... I mean, you don't, like, have world exploration for the most part, but you play, as far as I can tell, in Fallen London. In London. You know, because they have, like, constables and whatnot in the British style. There are a lot of gaps. Yeah, it's not... I mean, I haven't played the other games to know exactly, but I would imagine they aren't exactly the one-to-one. But also, the way they do their writing is deliberately not meant to be perfectly have perfect continuity, because that leads to, you know, debate and whatnot, potential questions to ask yourself. It's very impressive the way they do things. Big fan, big fan. But yeah. Hoping all is well on Book of Hours. Very excited to see how it turns out. Yeah, I'm running a, well, hoping to run a D&D campaign for some of my friends. We've done like a session, but it's also my first time DMing, so, you know, kind of playing things by ear. Item dropped, fisherman. Hey, let me talk. You have to have both? Please tell me this guy isn't gonna get captured again. He is, isn't he? Oh. Oh. That's a bit stinky. Okay. Thought I deflected there, but I think I was on cooldown. That's a lot. My God. D&D or any role-playing game, but I can't find a group or current time. Yeah, that is the trouble. I'm playing with, well, by and large, folks I met through streaming, that I've known. I've been streaming for about 2 years, and so, you know, most of them are around my age, which helps because being right at 20, you know, late teens, early 20s means you don't have all that much happening, generally speaking. You know, case-by-case basis, of course, but by and large, a lot more free time. So that helps. But then also, you know, knowing that they're all streamers for the most part, internet active, usually on at semi-concurrent times. So that helps. That helps for sure. I wasn't expecting to meet a ton of people through streaming. You know, obviously chat, but yeah, it's surprising. It's I like to think of myself as the guy that built the community, but obviously, you know, everybody brings a piece of the pie. It was yeah, me and my friend Eli, another guy, Infinite Cows, another guy I met through streaming. I met him probably about a month into streaming or so, and so for the most part, the streaming group is made up of my friends and his friends, and you know, some of which we know IRL, many of which we met through streaming. I'm kind of DMing on the side. I'm chipping at creating my own game where I'm the narrative writer. Yo, let's go. Best of luck. Hope is going well. Yeah, I'm not a hyper creative person. You know, like I can see patterns in like okay, so in my campaign, I am basing it entirely on lore that I'm stealing from places, you know, but they're not all the same source. A lot of it is the same source, like probably 70% of it is one continuity, but then there are like, you know, other things that I've enjoyed reading or playing and whatnot, where like, you know, one little aspect would tie in real nicely here or there, and so I'm like, the gods in the universe I'm making are different, because the gods in the main one don't really fit D&D type lore. Or they do, but not as well as, you know, like someone playing a cleric or a paladin would want. And so, I'm not an extremely creative type, but I can see patterns pretty well, I like to think, and I'm trying to use that to my advantage in repurposing, recycling lore. Because as long as the story's compelling, it doesn't really matter if it's plagiarized when it's a D&D campaign. Honestly, the story doesn't even have to be compelling half the time if you're playing with the action-oriented crowd. But 3 to 5 of the players who I'm going to be doing... I haven't gotten confirmation on who all's in, which is kind of annoying because I was wanting to do it, like, you know, get it well underway within, I don't know, within, like, this coming month. Trying to get it underway in February. May not be possible, but, you know, we'll see how she goes. I've been doing, like, some session zeros with people who have, like, actually, like, confirmed interest and given character prompts. But yeah, not everybody who has expressed that they might be interested have actually gone through and given me, like, hey, here's what I want my character to be. So, still working that out. I think plagiarized is good work, because people won't even guess where it's from if it's all jumbled together, because it'll be a new medium. It's not, like I said, about 70% of what I'm getting is, like, 70 to 90, really, realistically, is from the same source. In terms of, like, major events, world map, most of the characters I'm gonna have to come up with myself. But a lot of the overarching stuff is very recognizable once you have, you know, more than 2 names. If you are into that, like, very particular lore, I'll say. And so it is plagiarizing, but, like, it's, you know, who cares, right? Because like one of the only other D&D campaign I was in that lasted for any noteworthy length of time was ripped from Dragon's Dogma. Now I didn't play Dragon's Dogma, but that's what the DM was saying. So, you know, take him at his word, right? And it went well. Long as the story's compelling, you know? Dragon's Dogma is awesome. That's what I've heard. And I've seen some clips of it that looks like it, you know, would stand out well. I've never... It's funny, because here I am trying to DM a campaign. I've never really been much for RPGs. Like, you know, tried playing Fallout New Vegas. Honestly, my main problem with Fallout New Vegas is that it was not working well on my... It was not working well on my Windows 10, even with the Windows 10 updater thing. That mod. So that one kind of probably spoiled for that reason. But like I tried playing Red Dead Redemption, and I've tried playing Red Dead Redemption 4 times, and I never get past Chapter 3. Because I just, you know, it is a very long game, and role-playing games, I mean, it's less of a role-playing game, I suppose, than, like, Fallout. But it's, on the whole, I'd say. Like, what other role-playing games have I even given a shot? Not Path of Exile, but it feels kind of similar. What is it? Divinity 2. Divinity 2. Tried playing that. Had fun with it. Made it through the tutorial and didn't look back. Mostly because I thought the whole group was going to play it, and then 2 people downloaded it and never wanted to play it after that. I did try Path of Exile as well. That seemed like it, you know, I could see why a lot of people play it. Didn't really sell me on it. That's why I like and also dislike Red Dead 2. Yeah. No, like I respect them for the story. You can clearly see it's a lot of love went into it. However, holy fuck does it take forever. And with big story games like that, you know, if you have something going on and have to take a break for a bit, you know, if you aren't following real closely, you might just get to the point where you're like, well, fuck it, man, I don't want to restart. I don't want to go through the story again, but I don't remember what I was doing at all. Burned out of Path of Exile, so waiting for Path of Exile 2. I didn't know they were coming out with a second. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think I put about, I don't know, 10 hours maybe, Path of Exile. There was like a dungeon with a bunch of skeletons and stuff. Though frankly, that could be literally any part. I don't remember exactly where I got in there. I know I got through probably 2 and was headed to the 3rd village. I seem to recall that being the case. Maybe that was Divinity. I don't remember, actually. I'm getting the 2 mixed up now. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, definitely see why people enjoy it. Just, any game where I feel like if I stop playing for a week and a half, I'm gonna lose some value, kinda gets a from me. That's why I'm a big fan of roguelikes. I'm a big fan of strategy games because I can just hop in and go like, ah, yeah, here's the situation. Even if I don't know exactly what's happening, you know, you can get a feel for it after like 2-3 minutes of looking at the map. That's why I like fucking Tetris. Hell yeah. Tetris is my shit, dude. Tetris 99, my favorite Switch game. Honestly, I didn't play... I have a Switch. I got myself a Switch when I graduated high school. Present to myself. Got myself a PlayStation 4 as like a Christmas present one year to myself. I don't really play that much on console. Like, I played God of War and I played Red Dead on... Whoa! On PS4. And I still mean to, honestly, get Bloodborne, but I might just, you know, tell myself, surely they'll port to PC at some point, and then never actually play it. Yeah, we'll see on that. And then, Switch, played Odyssey. I got Mario Golf and then didn't put anywhere near as much time as I should have into it to justify the expense. Tetris 99, banger of a game. Mario Maker 2, play a lot of. Breath of the Wild, I played about probably 75% of the way through, and then helped my little brother beat the final boss on his account, so I was like, oh, that's where that's going, and then didn't play the rest of. Witcher 3. Oh, Witcher 3. I have completed the story of Witcher 3. Surprisingly enough, I have completed the story, not the DLC. It took me 3 years of playing for like a week straight and then not playing for several months to get through The Witcher 3. That game is dense. And also, the combat is not very great. Like, my friend, Moon, streamer. Well, real-life friend, but Moon is his, you know, streamer alias. Moonman TI. Who raided earlier, actually, now that I think about it. He has said multiple times he will never complete The Witcher 3 because he hates the combat. And, you know, I gotta give him credit. He's kind of right. It's very lackluster. Story's great, though. And Gwent is a lot of fun. And honestly, it's a damn shame that the mobile game for Gwent is not the same as Gwent in The Witcher 3. I checked it out. They are quite different. Same, like, core concept. Hey, it's, you know, a Hearthstone with several rows. It's like mix of Hearthstone, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Gwent or Witcher characters. But it's not the same mechanically, which is a little. I say disappointing. That's not really the word I'm looking for. Like a very mild form of disappointment. Also, we're on 10 HP. When did that happen? I played through some 4 times. Wow. Yeah, I usually don't like redoing content. Unless it's, you know, designed for maximum redoability, like a roguelite. That being said, there are a few stories that I've reread. A lot of the... See, I read... I'm on this website as a consumer of content called Royal Road. And it's a... whoa, wow, fuck off. I hate dashing into a bullet. It's a web novel website, you know? Bunch of writers, bunch of authors go on there, post their novels. A lot of it's shit. The ones that are good are really good, though. And there are a couple of novels on there that I have reread, you know, because it's like, then they're not done. And so you read up to what's been published, and then you let it sit for a couple of weeks to get like a backlog, or you just, you know, read whatever chapter comes out whenever it comes out. That's valid too. And then you get a couple of months since you read it last, and you're like, I don't remember 100% of what's going on, but I'm still very invested in the story. I'm gonna reread it. And so I've done that with a couple of ones. The ones that I have reread are, what is it? There's Delve by, I want to say it's Sinesh. I don't know most of them, but most of the ones I've reread, I remember the author. Delve by Senescent Soul. Beware of Chicken by Casual Farmer. And Blue Core by, oh fuck, the laser. Inadvisably Compelled. Those are the three that I have reread. I've fully beaten Hades with epilogue and stuff. Wow. Like all the, like the Persephone's Plan shit? That's pretty impressive. I got, you know, roll credits on Hades. But it lost me after it was just like, hey, give all of the gods the sauce. You know? And I was like, I think I enjoy the game. Great game. I don't want to do this specifically to get that one objective done. I don't want to replay, you know, 70 times just for that. Plus, also, I found out that Medusa was non-romanceable, and I said, fuck this, I'm going home. I'm taking my bat and leaving. My ball. That's the expression. Medusa's the best character in that game, bar none. And you end up as friends, which is, you know, valid. That is a form of relationship. However, I was disappointed to see, and honestly, it makes the most sense when you consider that Medusa is a disembodied head. But I didn't like any of the romanceable characters. I didn't like, what's her name? Medea? Nah, man, the Fury? I'm pretty sure it starts with an M. Didn't like Thanatos. What were the others? Were there others? I know there was another one. Fuck. I did it again. I ran out of sauce. Or I dashed into the wall? I'm not sure. If you dash into the wall, does it cancel it? Or do you keep... I can't see. I don't know. Megara! Not Medea. Yeah, that's the one. I didn't like Megara. I didn't like Thanatos. If there was another one, I don't remember him. I thought... now, I understand why this is not the case. It makes complete sense. Lore-wise... God fucking damn it. I liked fantasy like an OIC. Yeah, no, I respect that it's an option. I just didn't like his... He seemed like too much of a doomer to be in a stable... He seemed more like a friendly rival than anything romantic, in my opinion. Whew! Fuck me! That last one is brutal. He becomes better. Yeah. That's fair. But also... Yeah. There it is. But also, like, I didn't want to bother with... I didn't like his initial personality enough to raise the hearts. Killing an enemy has a chance to make bones fall from a sky, dealing damage over time to all enemies. That's cool.